From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, I'm Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Tuesday, January 11th. A slightly warmer afternoon looks to move in for our Tuesday. That would be welcomed, right? Starting at 10 degrees this morning. Winds will be lighter, skies staying on the bright side, see plenty of sunshine. Highs will be in the upper 20s to low 30s. We might break that freezing mark. The chapel bell tolls in Athens, Georgia, for a party that started here in Indianapolis. Students in both cities and alums around the country are ringing out the news. The victory sheds a 41-year national title dry spell for Georgia and a decade and a half of disappointment against Alabama. A picture on the school social media shows quarterback Stetson Bend, arms raised as confetti falls at Lucas Oil Stadium. The caption was, "Soak it in, Bulldog Nation." After a fairly flat first half, after a lot of you were probably in bed, the game got pretty exciting very late. Alabama led into the fourth quarter. Then Georgia turned on the Jets, grabbing the lead, then a late interception to seal it. News 8's Charlie Clifford takes us to the sidelines of the College Football Playoff National Championship.
68,000 raucous SEC fans brought Lucas Oil Stadium's octave to a new level on Monday night. And in the fourth quarter, Bryce Young, Alabama's Heisman Trophy winner, bested by Stetson Bennett, the Georgia quarterback who originally arrived on campus as a preferred walk-on, left to play a season of junior college football, and his return to the team leads to this road in Indianapolis. Bennett's tears erasing a 41-year championship drought in Athens, a 70-yard interception return touchdown, sealing the victory.
The feelings I have inside, the emotion I have for these players and these young men, I mean, I'm looking over here at these guys, JD and James, and these guys waiting to go. And I've never been around a group of players that really wanted it so bad and wouldn't be denied. Because I think back to the 80 championship picture and seeing all those players, our guys have accomplished that, something special. And they, as they say, they've become legendary. And I want that for them. It's not for me. And I know it's for the Georgia people and all that, but it's really for these guys who have given so much.
The tears afterwards, that just hit me. I hadn't cried in, years, but I mean, it just came over me. That's what, when you put as much time as we do into this thing, blood, sweat, tears, it means something.
Bryce and Will, thanks for your time. We'll let you head back to your locker room.
I'd like to say something. Can I say something?
Absolutely.
These two guys that are sitting up here, they're not defined by one game. These guys played great for us all year. They're great competitors. They were great leaders on this team, and they contributed tremendously to the success of this team, and we would not be here without them.
As we begin to reflect on championship week here in Indianapolis, rave reviews for this host city from both sides of what turned out to be an epic 2022 national championship game. Kirby Smart besting his former boss, Nick Saban. Coach Smart thanking the Georgia faithful who clearly had the advantage inside Lucas Oil Stadium on Monday night. We will not forget this one anytime soon. For now at Lucas Oil Stadium, Charlie Clifford, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
And Los Angeles is on the clock now. The end of a championship marks the countdown to the next one. The Indianapolis Host Committee will pass the torch this morning to LA, the site of the 2023 National Championship. Organizers will hold a press conference at 10 this morning. We're going to stream it live on wishtv.com and on our Facebook page. And two large local school districts are virtual today. Students in Pike Township and Anderson are logging onto laptops today. It's a continuing problem at Pike, which has been online for more than a week. The district says driver illnesses and isolations will keep students learning from home through at least tomorrow. Anderson school leaders say classes are virtual today because of staff absences connected to COVID. The district has not announced a plan for tomorrow. School buildings in Chicago reopened this morning. The district and its teachers union have reached a deal to end their standoff over COVID protocols. Teachers wanted lessons to be online. Administrators say they need to be in person. The new deal sets up testing for more students and all staff. Teachers return today to set up lessons for when students return tomorrow. The agreement is not official until more than 25,000 union members vote on it. And according to the American Academy of Pediatrics, last week alone, kids who tested positive for COVID-19 here in the U.S. jumped 78%. There were 580,000 cases reported by the end of last week and 325,000 cases reported the week before. But these 2 weeks alone make up almost 11% of all of the cases among kids since the pandemic started. In total, the report says nearly 8.5 million children have gotten the virus. According to CNN, the U.S. is seeing a record number of hospitalizations for children under 5 years old, and new admissions for children under 18 are averaging nearly 800 a day. Now the CDC is urging vaccinations and booster shots for kids 12 to 18 years old. They should get boosted 5 months after their initial doses. Remember, Pfizer is the only approved vaccine for this age group. Kids 5 and under still aren't eligible for COVID-19 vaccines, and the CDC says the best way to keep these younger kids safe is to vaccinate all eligible family members around them. And doctors say shots and testing are vital.
The majority of kids who are eligible still haven't received their first vaccinations either.
If you want to get kids and teachers back in schools, the way to do that is a multi-pronged approach, including flooding our schools with testing.
Some places like the Fishers Health Department are prioritizing testing students. But something to keep in mind is that some of those at-home rapid tests never go reported to the state, so these numbers could actually be even higher. The Marion County Health Department had a successful first day at its free clinic. The health department offered COVID-19 vaccines and rapid tests yesterday. The department teamed up with a college football playoff host committee for the clinic. The first morning, health officials say they administered 19 doses of the vaccine and 41 tests. Health officials say they'll open up a new site next week at possibly another location, but will also consider doing testing downtown. The clinic comes amid a surge of cases. The Indiana State Department of Health recorded more than 10,000 new cases yesterday. And the CDC is considering recommending N95 or KN95 masks for everyone. The Washington Post cites an unnamed official who says the agency is thinking about making the change. The source says Omicron spreads easily, and these types of masks provide better filtration than typical cloth or surgical masks. And Governor Holcomb will deliver his State of the State address tonight. We expect Holcomb to give details about his agenda for Indiana. He unveiled some basics last week. His speech is scheduled to begin at 7 this evening, and Wish TV will air a special report. This afternoon, President Biden will travel to Atlanta to make his case for new voting rights legislation. The Freedom to Vote Act and the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act aim to expand voting options and create national standards for mail-in voting. Democrats are hoping to push the bills forward ahead of this year's midterm elections, but they face an uphill battle. With nearly all Republicans opposed, a filibuster may be the only way forward. This is a move Democratic Senators Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema opposed. Despite the pushback, a vote could come as early as this week.
The president will forcefully advocate for protecting the most bedrock American rights, the right to vote and have your voice counted in a free, fair, and secure election that is not tainted by partisan manipulation. He'll make clear in the former district of the late Congressman John Lewis that the only way to do that are for the Senate to pass the Freedom to Vote Act and the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act.
Voting rights groups fear that Biden's speech may not go far enough and that action is needed. And doctors say a man is doing well after a heart transplant from a pig. The patient's name is David Bennett. The University of Maryland Hospital says he has heart disease that would kill him without a new heart, but he wasn't eligible for a human transplant. Bennett agreed to an experimental procedure giving him a heart from a genetically modified pig. Researchers have tried for decades to work toward cross-species transplants to fill the soaring need for organs. And doctors hope the genetic modifications in the pig will prevent Bennett's body from rejecting the heart. 2 food recalls to tell you about. One is beef, the other is salad. The beef recall is out west, where the USDA says 28,000 pounds of it may be contaminated with E. coli. It was sold through Kroger, Winco, Albertsons, and Walmart, but none of the stores are in Indiana. The beef went to shipped to stores in Arizona, California, Nevada, Oregon, Utah, Washington, and Wyoming. As far as the salad recall, it does affect Indiana and 24 other states. The concern is listeria in prepackaged salad. They're from Dole and either carry the Dole brand or private label versions sold at Walmart, Aldi, and Kroger. There are dozens of different versions. The Food and Drug Administration says all have product codes starting with one of two letters. Those with W and a best if used by date between December 22nd and January 9th. The others start with B and have a best if used by date between December 23rd and January 8th. We have a full list of the affected items on our website right now. Just go to wishtv.com and click on the story in the As Seen on Wish TV section. The Indiana Black Legislative Caucus gets specific about its 2022 legislative agenda. The group of state lawmakers backs several House bills, most aimed to improve access to health care and insurance. Specifics include added cultural awareness training for health professionals, an expansion of an infant safety grant program, and extended copay waivers for eligible families. Indiana's Attorney General promises to keep pushing back against robocalls. The last, several Indiana AGs have made unwanted calls a top priority. For his part, Todd Rokita says his office has filed a number of lawsuits to stop them. The Attorney General also offers advice. Be cautious when anyone on the phone asks you to pay for something with gift cards, a wire transfer, or cryptocurrency. Officials say to immediately stop communicating if you suspect something fraudulent. Versity Blood Center of Indiana is asking for help as it deals with an emergency blood shortage. The Blood Center posted on its social media yesterday that it has less than a day's supply on its shelves. The supply is at its lowest in a decade and points to the nationwide crisis. Versity says all blood types are needed. Walk-ins are welcome. You can also sign up in advance to donate. You can do that online. Authorities in Florida say there is no evidence of drug use or foul play leading to the death of Bob Saget. The medical examiner finished the autopsy on the actor and comedian. He says it could take 10 to 12 weeks to complete the full investigation into how and why the 65-year-old died. The sheriff's office says security found him face up in his bed in his hotel room after he didn't check out, and family contacted the Ritz-Carlton in Orlando. He had performed a stand-up show just the night before. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand for even more on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.